All right, friends. All right, friends. Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. All right, that's what I like to. That's what I like to hear. It is a beautiful, beautiful evening out there today. I was a little bit worried earlier in the day. It did not look nice this morning. It was not a nice morning, but I got to tell you, during the day it was really nice, and then by the time I got home and had to go out and clean the yard, the sun was out, the sky was blue, and all was good. All was good, and all is good here. It is Friday night. I want to make sure that everything's working. We have an oneg here this evening, so if you're in the not quite sure if you want to be here, there's food. So come and have the oneg. It's sponsored by our friends from Kentucky, John and Jean Rosenberg. They took the weekend off from saving the world and are here with us. So it's all good. It is all good. All right, so let's have Amy come up, and we're on page 2 and page 3. Page 3, if you want to do an English reading. Page 2 for the benching of Licht. Yeah, and then do the lights. Go.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Yeah. Push it forward.
Push it forward. There we go.
There you go. It's magic.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. Well done. Let's turn to page 6. Page 6, and have a responsive reading in English. May the door of the synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May welcome all who are things to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May the threshold be no stumbling block to young, straight feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May the synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to the
And let's turn to page 20, and we'll continue with Lecha Dodi. Top of page 20. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabila. Shamov zachor b'dibor echad, Ishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shem tiferet v'litila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabila, Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, Ki mekor ha'bracha, merosh mikedem mehesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila, lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela, mikdash melech ir melucha, kumitzi mitoch apecha, rav lahak shevet, Be'emech habacha, vehu yachamol alaychem la, lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela, itnari me'afar kumi, livshi bigdei tifartecha mi, al yad benishai beit halachmi, Korva el nafshi gehala, lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat Nikabila, Hitorari, Kiva Orek Kumi Ori, Shirta Beri, Kivod Adonai Alayich Nigla, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nikabila, Lo Tevoshi, Velo Tikol Mi, Mahatish Tochachi Matehemi, Bach Yechesu, Anieh Ami, V'nihi V'ta'ir Al Tila, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nikabila, V'hayu L'shimsa, Shohosayich, V'rahachaku kol mevalayich, Yasis alayich, Elohayich, Ki im soschatan al kala, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabila, Yamin usmol tifrotzi, V'et Adonai ta'aritzi, Al Yadish ben Partzi, V'nihi smecha v'nagila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabila, Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'sola, Toch emunei am segula, Boi chala, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabila. Page 22, let's read some verses from Psalm 92, a psalm for Shabbat, and let's read the outdented paragraph together in English. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. With the 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together, you have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai. How very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Tzadik katamar yifrach, keherez balvanot yiskeh. Shetuli bebeit Adonai, bechatrot Eloheinu yahafrichu, ojinu b'seiva, b'shenim v'ra'ananim, yiyu lehagid, ki ashar Adonai, tzuri velo avlatabo. Page 24, Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharei, Malachei Elyon, V'melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, V'melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, V'melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh, Baruch. Now we have welcomed the Shabbat bride, and she is here with us, and we welcome each other. We're on page 146. I'll ask everyone please rise as we begin the evening service for Shabbat with Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated. Page 147. Let's read together in the English. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish. But your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. Second blessing, the second bracha before Shema, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, v'shachbeinu uvkumeinu, nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, li'olam ha'ed. Ki heim chayinu, v'yorech yameinu, v'yorech yameinu, uvahem negeh, yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatecha tasir mimenu li'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levacha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol meodecha, v'hayu advarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al vavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlektecha b'derech, uv'shokbecha uvkumecha, uvshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uvtaftam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 151, let's read responsively in English. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Before our eyes, there's a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. When will redemption come?
When we grant everyone the claim for ourselves.
Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learn about special recipes found in Hannah. So we celebrate this power and make so free.
Top of 152. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha neder bakodesh, nohora tehilot, osefelet, malchutecha ra'u banecha, bokeam lifnei Moshe, zeli anu v'amru, Adonai imloch, Leolam poed, v'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, u'galom yad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Top of 153, the top two lines. Ashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Ve'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Ve'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. And let's read together the paragraph at the bottom of the page. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence, we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, HaPorei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Amo Yisrael, V'al Yerushalayim. We turn the page to 154. At the top, we find verses from the book of Exodus. Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat Lidorotam b'rit olam Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat Lidorotam b'rit olam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti liolam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat Lidorotam b'rit olam Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam b'rit olam Ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat Lidorotam b'rit olam. I'll ask everyone please rise. Page 155 as we begin the Amidah together. 155, 156, and 157. And then we'll go silently, and you can finish the prayer in the Hebrew, reading the translation, or offering up your own meditative prayer during the silence. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai sifatai tiftach Piaki tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, Andorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Bezocher Chasdei Avot Imahot, Umevi Goel Ibnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim Atara V'Hoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, U'Morid HaGashem, Mechakel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayei Metim B'Rachamim Rabim, Zomech Noflim B'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayim Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'Givoro, Umidom Melach, Melech Mimit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot neitim, Baruch atah Adonai, B'chayei Amen. Let's turn to page 160 and read the paragraph together in English, paragraph in the middle of the page. Let's read it in English. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. And may all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 163, a little bit of Hoda'ah, a little bit of Thanksgiving, a little bit of gratitude. It was a great week for me. Mom and Cliff were here, and so I really enjoyed having them here. They left early. Apparently, Pennsylvania was going to get hit by a storm. I don't think it did, but better safe than sorry, as always. But lots to be grateful for this week. Top page 163, let's read responsibly. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
for the strength to improve the world with our hearts and hands we offer praise.
For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the health and tomorrow, all praise to the source of need.
And let's close out our Amidah on page 164 with Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Liolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Liolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Liolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Liolam. V'tov be'einecha livarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol eit ubechol shah bishlomecha. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Liolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Liolam. Tasim Liolam. Tasim Liolam. Praise to you, Adonai, who blesses your people, Israel, with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivorech et amo Yisrael, v'shalom. Page 253 in the middle, one of the prayers for healing. This one is Misha Berach. Middle page 253. Misha Berach. Avoteinu mikor habracha le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Pages 258, 259, prayers of our community. And Mr. President, how about the prayer for our congregation?
Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of Torah, devotion in prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levarcha b'yirah na'avod. Maury, how about for our country?
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit.
Amen. Shalom, shalom, Yerushalayim, Yishlayu, Ohayach. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Maximus, how about the prayer for Israel in Hebrew and then in English?
אבינו שבשמיים ישראל בגאולה ברך את מדינת ישראל ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו הגן עליך ויברך חסדך ופרוס עליך שיחת שלומך ושלח אורך ומיתך לראשך שרפת יוצאך ותקנן בעצה טובה מפניך ונתת שלום בארץ בשמחת עולם ישבך ונאמר אמן.
Amen.
O Heavenly Lord, protect the Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel which marks the dying hope for all its citizens. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace, send your light and truth to all who lead in lies. Guiding them with your good counsel, establish peace in their life and fullness of joy for all who love you. Amen.
Amen. Well done, Max. Max last week couldn't read Hebrew. Look it up. No, I'm just joking. He is one of the best Hebrew readers that we have. And those, I'm starting a second level Hebrew class. So if you already know your Aleph Bet, you can catch up to Max and actually sound like a 13-year-old. But no, Max is amazing, and we're glad he's here. This week's Torah portion is Tetzaveh. Again, no action this week. Right? It's more of the description of the Mikdash or the Mishkan, depending on what you want to call it. And so after the last 5 or 6 weeks, it's nice to take a bit of a break. And they're commanded, the children of Israel are commanded as they're putting the Mikdash together to have a Ner Tamid, an eternal light. And it's to be fueled by clear olive oil. Aharon and his children, Nadav, Abihu, Eleazar, and Itamar, are not his children, his sons actually, are appointed as the priests, and they will oversee all the sacrifices and offerings. Aharon is tapped to be the high priest, and he gets 8 special garments. And these, if we ever got to see them, they would be absolutely just beautiful works of art. There's an ephod, an apron of fine linen with gold, blue, purple, and scarlet yarns woven into it. There's what's called a Choshen Mishpat. It's the breastplate of judgment. And it's a container with 4 rows of precious stones, and each row, or each stone, bearing the name of one of Jacob's sons. There's the Ha'urim v'Hatumim, and this is a small box. We're not quite sure what it did, but it was believed it was something through which God spoke. Now, if it was connected to the Choshen Mishpat, maybe the stones lit up when they were asked a question. I'm not quite sure. Think of it as a really, really fancy magic 8-ball, right? Do we remember magic 8-balls from our youth? Yes, okay. But something much more serious. There's the Me'il, a blue robe with bells on the hem, right? He has to wear a special robe with bells on the hem in case he is in the inner sanctum, the Kodesh Kodeshim, and he stops moving. So the people could hear him. If he all of a sudden stops moving, maybe he's dead, maybe, he too much God. And so there's also a legend that they had a rope tied around his waist so that they heard the bells stop. They could pull him out because they could not go in to that area. One other novel interpretation of bells I heard was so that he didn't surprise God when he went into the Holy of Holies, right? That's God's special place, and let somebody know that you're coming in. There was the Tzitz Zahav, and this is a plate upon which the words Kodesh Ladonai were engraved, and that was fitted onto his turban, right? So Kodesh Ladonai means holy unto God. Hakatonet Shesh, a fringed tunic of fine linen. Mitznefet Shesh, a headdress of fine linen, not lemon, linen. And an abnit, an embroidered sash. Right, so I mean, this would have been something to see, although we see it anytime we take out the Torah, because the Torah, the cover mimics in a way that ephod, and then there's a crown on the Torah, and there's a gartel, a sash, and so there's some Sifrei Torah have a chain around it that's like a breastplate. And so those are our imitations for the Torah of the high priest's garments. So we don't get to see them in all their glory, but we do get to see them. And then we get a description of Aaron's ordination ceremony. He's bathed and he's anointed with oil, and the whole ceremony lasts 7 days. The priests and the sacrifices are to remind the children of Israel that God is with them and brought them out of Mitzrayim, brought them out of Egypt. And the parsha ends with an instructions for building an altar for burning incense. So not a lot of action, but a lot of important stuff went on. The Ner Tamid, the investiture of the Kohen Gadol, the investiture of the Kohanes, and the building of the altar for burning incense. Yes. In last week, not too many mitzvot. This week, not too many as well. We have 4 positives and 3 negatives for a total of 7. So the last couple of weeks, the news has not been good. And so instead of looking to the news, I looked to just something fun. And I found something that made me very, very happy this week. And kind of took my mind off of what's going on in Israel, what's going on in Russia, what's going on in Ukraine, what's going on in our country. And so the city of Berlin in Germany holds a very special place in my heart. Part of my family is from that area. And since my first trip there in 1985, I've watched the city change and grow. When the wall fell in 1989, an Aussie friend of mine, a person from East Germany, called me. And I said, how are you calling me? You couldn't call out from the East. And they said to me, no. I'm sharing the news. The wall has fallen. The Soviets are no longer in control, and Berlin will be a united city again. The last time I was there, I was amazed at Berlin's thriving Jewish population. Everybody says that Judaism is dead in Germany. They haven't told the Berliners that yet. There's a small neighborhood where you could get kosher food and a bakery and all sorts of Jewish items. There are a number of synagogues. Berlin has its own rabbinical school, believe it or not. And now, this is what made me smile. It now has a Schmoozkreuz. Nobody's impressed with that? I am impressed with that. It's a conversation club for Yiddish. I thought we all spoke Yiddish. All right, never mind. That's okay. There is a schmooze is a conversation, and a kreuz is a group, right? A conversation group. And this has been popping up. This group has been popping up all over the city, usually in bars or cafes. Well, it has to be. And it's taken the community by storm. It was founded by a Yiddish translator named Jacob Schneider, who was studying Yiddish online during the pandemic, and then decided that he wanted to find his Yiddish-speaking community. And so now they have this little group that's called Schmooze und Wein, right? A conversation and wine, because, you can't speak Yiddish without having, schmooze and wine sounds better than schmooze and Schlivovitz, because Schlivovitz will kill you. But the idea is that a few members showed up, and now it has a core group of about a dozen or so regulars who show up. I think it's every other week. And the mailing list has 90 people. Well, after this week, 91. But, so it's growing. And not only do they schmooze, right? Not only do they talk, they play games. Somebody brought back some card games that they found in a Hasidic store in Borough Park. And so they practice their Yiddish with that. They like to sing, right? So they'll break out into Yiddish songs. And they just like being in each other's company. Some people are fluent in Yiddish. Some people are just starting out in Yiddish, but they all find a common ground. And one person describes it as secular Yiddish for the 2020s, right? It's not so much the language of the religious Eastern European Jews, but it's for linguists and readers and writers, academics and creatives, anybody who wants to be part of it. And so part of the fabric, or what they've noticed, is that the Yiddish speakers now take what they're learning in the Yiddish schmooze and they apply it to their daily lives. So they'll be talking about Yiddish things in their daily lives. Alabai, we should get Jews in America to talk about Judaism in their daily lives. But people in Berlin are using Yiddish all over the place. And it's allowed us, one member said, to take over the city in a way. And it's interesting because if you listen to Yiddish, it sounds a lot like German. It's an old German. It's a medieval German that kind of froze grammatically, but then added words from the Slavic countries, Russia. I guess that's a Slavic country. I don't know if there's any French in Yiddish. Nick, do you know any French words in Yiddish other than like mon Dieu, my God, or something like that? What's Yiddish? Is that what you said? No. Yiddish. Oh, yes. Okay. So yes, in French, there's one Yiddish word, Yiddish. Okay. But when they're in a bar, people are intrigued by what they're hearing because it sounds like German, but it really isn't German. And so often people come up and ask if it's Plattdeutsch, Swiss German. And they say, no, it's even better. It's Yiddish. And so almost 100 years ago, maybe a little over 100 years ago, during the Weimar Republic, there was a thriving Yiddish world in Berlin. Publishers and theaters, actors and writers, and it was all nearly erased. But now, in the 2020s, it's back. And as if I need another reason to want to go to Berlin, right? So if you're in Berlin, look them up, Schmooze und Wein, and you'll have an evening of it all. All right, friends. Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos. Maury. Kiddush. Sounds like Yiddish, but it isn't. So I'll ask everyone to please rise as we begin Kiddush, Hillel Shabbat, Kiddush for Shabbat evening. Vayihi erev vayivoker yom hashishi, vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzivam, vayachal Elohim bayom hashvi melachto asher asa, vayishbot bayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa, vayavarech Elohim et yom hashvi, vayikadesh oto, ki bo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asod. Savri
L'chaim.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam borei peri hagafen. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. Good week for Geffen grape juice. Please remain standing. Page 282. Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei gdula liotzer b'reshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'ratzo, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, ומשחבים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומי הוא אלוהינו אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו הכתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשבות לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחתינו. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו Echad. You may be seated. This week we observed the following birth sites. Harold Frankel, husband of Dodie, father of Linda and Alan. Morris Friedman, friend or relative of Jack Hyman. Samuel Levinson, Frida Kagan's father. Mabel Poland, Charles G. Poland's wife. Doris Angel, Harry's wife. Chloe E. Hankins, aunt of Jim Jenkins. Edward I. Silverman, Edna Baker's brother-in-law. Israel Jacob Cohen, relative of Jack Glick. Harry Glick, Mark Solochek's maternal grandmother's first cousin. Gail Gottlieb, Jack's wife, mother of Linda and Joe D. Norton Kaplan, husband of Grace, brother to Pauline, Jean and Sam, father of Jeff and Sean. Evelyn Katz, Isidore's wife, Sandy Colker's mother. Lorene Levine, Mo's wife, Ethel Levine's daughter-in-law. Stella Reich Levy, aunt of Bob, Charlie's wife and mother of Alan and Roger. Bernice Stern, Walter's wife, mother of Marcia, Wendy, Kathy, and Harriet Jean. F. Bro, sixth child of Adolph Bro, grandfather of Tony. Max Glick, Sarah's husband, great uncle of David, Billy, and Barbara. Francie Horn Dolly, Joe Horn's daughter, sister of Sarah, Steve, Amy, and Lisa. Gerda Rosenberg, John's mother, and she was from Germany. And Martha left me a note that she passed away on the anniversary of the day you all made it to America, but years later.
Today,
Yes,
1940.
you got here in 1940. When did your mom pass away?
2012 of this day.
Well, but it was the anniversary of when she said finally had enough of America, right?
Same day.
No. But that's an interesting fact. The day that you get here is also many years later, the day she passes away. Sarah Stern Sokolsky, Diane Shuttle's aunt, Annie Gross, Diane Shuttle's maternal grandmother, wife of Isaac, Joseph Rothenberg, Joan Lerner's uncle, Isidore James Rubin, Janet Baker's father, Elaine Skoll, wife of Barrett, mother of Rhonda and Diane. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May their memories be a blessing to us all, and may they always rest in peace. Mourner's Cottage is found on page.
I want to say shalom for my uncle Jerry Burris, who just passed recently. We attended his funeral this past Wednesday. So that's the good dad and Jerry Burris.
Thank you. Page 294. Yit Kadal, Yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Balmad, Divrach, Hirutei, V'amlik Malchutei, V'chaye Chon, V'yomei Chon, V'chaye D'chol Beit Yisrael, V'agala, V'zman Kariv, V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah, V'orach, Le'olam, Olamei Maya. Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, V'yitalev, V'yithalal, Shmei D'Kudusha, Richu. Le'lam Yinkol Birchata B'shirata, Tushbachata B'nechamata, Da'amiram Ba'alma V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom Min Rumav, Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. You may be seated, and we'll have Hoyt, our president, come up. I'm sure he's got some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's great to see everybody here. It's nice to have a full chapel. Tomorrow we've got services with the rabbi at 10 o'clock, and be there. It's always a good time on a Saturday morning. It's supposed to be nice tomorrow, a little bit cool, I think. Sunday we'll have services at 9, and then study with the rabbi at 1 and 2.
Mhm.
Then we've got the Yiddish choir at, I believe, 7 p.m. by Zoom.
On Wednesday.
Wednesday. And then we come back here next Friday. A couple announcements. Don't forget the raffle that we have on April 14th. We're selling tickets. We're also wanting to buy tickets. So let me know if you need any, or let somebody know if they're selling in the audience. Buy, sell, do what you can. Let's make this really good. Also, the Jewish Cultural Festival, we are working. We have a trio, an act signed that we're going to have here. We're working on that. We're also working on the vendors. If you want to know how you can help with that, let me know, and I'll put you in contact with Shayna or Toby, okay? But that's all I have. I hope your weekend's great.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Well done.
It's been a long day. Thank you.
Yes.
Long day.
Speaking of my classes, there's a couple things coming up. Like I said, we're going to be having a Hebrew level 2. So if you already know the Aleph Bet and want to improve not only your speaking of Hebrew, pronouncing the words correctly, things like that, also increasing your vocabulary, finding out what the prayers actually mean, this is level 2. So if you already know what the Aleph Bet is, and if you could read Hebrew, even so, the next class is going to be starting up in a couple of weeks. We're going to be winding down our introduction to the Tanakh, and I can't remember which one we're going to do, either prayer and the Siddur or talking about God. So does anybody who's there remember what we said was good? Prayer was going to be first, and then talking about God. So I can't wait for the talking about God. Maybe I'll learn something. So, but those are coming up, and keep your eyes open for emails. In a month, it will be Purim. Purim begins on Saturday night, and we will have the Megillah, a Megillah reading, a kind of Megillah reading. We don't know what we're going to have just yet, and some sort of spiel. So if you want to be involved in the spiel, let us know. Just call the office or shoot me an email, and we'll get you involved. And Purim's going to be fun. Always is. Purim's fun. And I think that's it. It's in a month, 4 weeks. We have an oneg. If you're not here, it's too late. We've locked the doors, and no sweets for you all. But it's John and Jean Rosenberg in memory and in honor of John's mom. And so I think that's it. And so,
Are you gonna offer a Yiddish speaking class? Are you gonna teach us?
I might. I don't know if there's interest.
I like the learn.
Yeah, but it won't be on Zoom. I don't do languages on Zoom. You got to be in the room. But who knows? Maybe we'll work something out. I mean, we'll see. But if you're interested, shoot me an email just so I don't forget. All right. Any other? Nope, that's it. White. All right. Page 321, and then the oneg. Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach. B'terem kol Yitzir Nivra. Liet Nasa B'chefso kol. Azai Melech Shemo Nikra. V'acharei Kiklot HaKol. Levado Imloch Nora. V'hu Haya V'hu Oveh. V'hu Yeh B'tifara. V'hu Echad V'ein Sheni. Laham Shilo Lahachbira. B'li Reshit B'li Tachlit. V'lo Ha'os V'ha'nisra. V'hu Eli V'chai Goali. V'tzur Hepli V'yehitzara. V'hu Nisi Umanosli. Menat Chosi B'yomekra. V'yahado Akid Ruchi. V'yeti Shan V'yayira. V'imruchi Giviyati. Adonai li v'lo ira. We've got people saying hello to us on the intertubes. Let's see who they are this evening. We've got Linda Frankel, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Linda. Same to you. Bella Robinson, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Bella. Oh, there's Mom. Shabbat Shalom to all from Rabbi's Mom and Cliff. A special hello to John and Jean Rosenberg. My mom's a fan. Donna Wilson, Shabbat Shalom to all. Thank you, Donna. And Taylor McIntyre, Shabbat Shalom. Back at you, Taylor. Yeah, we're open. Lots going on. Even more is going to be happening as the winter fades away. Elizabeth, how many more days till spring? Okay. Elizabeth is always telling me how close spring is. After Groundhog Day, 6 weeks of winter, regardless. So it's a beautiful evening out there. So enjoy it. Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos, and please, please be careful out there.
Good job.